Woof! Hello there, it's me, Jamiroquai. Hey everyone, welcome to Two Dogs Digs, Jamiroquai night. Virtual insanity. I don't know if any of you are going to get that reference or not, but hey, I found this hat on my road trip, and I had to buy it for $1, and all I could think of was it's like a Jamiroquai hat. So if you don't know who Jamiroquai is, then you'll have to look it up on YouTube. Two very famous songs. And if you ever watch the ballet drama Center Point, you will know, or Center Stage, you'll know what I'm talking about for there. So welcome to Tuesday with Two Dogs Digs, and it's Reseller Road Trip Day. So we're going to talk today about a trip we made, not last week, the week before last, down to the U.S., and a little run over the border. That still has its tags on too. Look at that. There's a whole $1 from Best Made Toys. I don't think I'll keep it on for very long though. So I think that's enough. You've had enough of that. Sharing, hey lovely Billy, sharing my space tonight with me, of course, is my fabulous partner in crime, Mr. Good Dog downstairs. Hey honey. Oh, he's
hello.
I was gonna say he's been talkative today.
No, I haven't. I've been in a bad mood. I was up way too late last night.
I'm trying not to tell people you've been in a bad mood, and
I'm way too late. I did a nap.
I kept him up too late. Anyway, hello to everybody who's here. Thank you so much, especially to everyone who is a member of the Kennel Club. You'll see the little signs on the side there for the Kennel Club. That's the people who have the little icons beside their names. There's Donna there. She's got one. Adrian doesn't have one from his office, strangely enough. Linda, Lisa, Heather, other Linda. Let's see what else we got here. Joel. Hey, Joel. Let's see who else we got. Kevin, Diana. Yeah, it is a little smoky, but not as much. We've had a lot of rain, so that's what we've actually been able to get through. Hey, Holly. Hey, Greg. Hey, Andrew is here, and Julie's off tonight. Lovely Billy, who's joining us. Candace, who's joining us as well. Doug has been quiet, and yes, it is a new shirt. Thank you so much for noticing. It is my end of the world dinosaur shirt. So here we go. It's filled with comets and volcanoes and dinosaurs figuring, well, you know what? I might as well surf if it's the end of the world. Yay! Yes, Joel just recently moved into a new house with his girlfriend, and they are he has a room now that's all for eBay. Yay!
That's where it starts. Pretty soon you'll have
that's where it starts. You know, watch out what's coming up next. So but today we're here to chat about our recent road trip. We took a 3-day trip down to the States. Just south of us in just outside of Buffalo, New York, there is the first Sunday of every month, there is an antique place flea market called Clarence. And on that Sunday, usually about 30, 40, 50 some odd people just throw out a table at their car. So it's a regular flea market. It's got a lot of storage units that people have their stuff in, and they open them up and push them out. But there's another, well, actually probably more close to like 100, isn't it, Rick? When the front and back part.
New ones.
It's horrible to park. It's absolutely horrible to park, and much to Rick's chagrin, you basically got to get there before 7:30 if you want to have a parking space. We got there at 7:45, and we just got
my rule, coffee first.
We got lucky that somebody pulled out, was leaving at 7:45, so they'd already been there. So people get there starting at 6.
But I did my little mantra chant: God is love, God is love. Find me a parking spot. God is love. And what opened up?
Yeah, so we had fun. So what we ended up doing was the Friday we were there. We went to garage sales. We did some thrift stores. We did some estate sales as well. And then the Saturday we did the same thing: garage sales, and then estate sales, and then thrift stores, different order. And then Sunday we got up and did the flea market and a couple of garage sales on the way home. it was a fun weekend for us because it's the first weekend where the weather was good. We tried doing this in May, and it just wasn't like a good weekend. Like there were no garage sales, there were no goods estate sales. We went to one, but in this case, we actually had quite a bit of fun. Loaded up the back of our truck, actually.
Yeah, Craig was very happy because the garage sales were actually pretty good.
Yeah,
You know, we actually had stuff in the car before 10 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, and some of the stuff we had was interesting and quite fun. I'm going to show you an image of one of the things, and I think I might have shown this on as well on our screen, but this is actually one of the things that we picked up. So I'm going to have to do it this way because I didn't link it properly. So this is, I'm going to do this, Rick. This is 3 of the things that we thought that were absolutely fabulous. And we got all 3 of these at that flea market. So the big print there, the lion, the CYRK lion, the Asian 60s lacquered TV trays. And that's not the best picture of them. There's a better picture of the lion, framed lion. The TV trays. This is what we ended up coming back with. This is what we filled up. All of these trunks. So it is, we were quite happy. Here's a better picture of the tables, the TV trays, and they're by a company I've never heard of before. Oops, which is Scheib. Now, the thing is, when we looked at these, the Scheib thing, that was at a dealer, and they literally said, these are neat. I said, how much are they? They were $40, right, Rick? 40?
Yep.
And they said, if you look them up, they go for $300 or $400. And we're like, then why are you selling them for
Yeah, I couldn't actually find those exact tables.
No.
There are some comparables, but none of them are the painted orange with the gold fans. They're very Asian inspired.
And I see if I can find the link to anything like that just on our eBay page. So here are the company name, which is Scheib, and there's some TV trays, $175, $99. This is all listed right now, but if you go to Solds, you'll see, and this is not something we would ever be shipping anyway, but like a tiki bar tray for $225. Some regular retro folding tables for $139. So again, we looked at that and thought, there's no way we can pass these up, even though, and they're staying in our house. So it's not like they're not for resale yet. They may be at some time, but I just like looking at them right now. Every day I walk by them.
They're very pretty. It's like he looks at them and smiles. It's like, oh, they're so pretty.
These are
Pretty
so pretty
things.
What I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to try and link up my phone to be able to show this better. So I'm going to turn it over to Rick now to just show you one of the things he found.
Help us.
No, one of the things that you found, or actually the 3 things that you found that you had a really sharp eye out for.
Yes. I know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
You're talking in code.
I'm talking in code.
You are. All right. So it's the same booth as we got the TV trays from. These boxes were sitting on the table. There are 3 of them. And it's this fantastic set of, this is a carving set. So you've got the fork and the carving knife. And it is by a company called Gerber Legendary Blades. So there's this set. There's this set of 6 steak knives. And there's this set, which is also a carving set that includes the sharpener and I think that's a boning knife. Unfortunately, it's missing the velvet from the top. However, The walnut boxes are in really, really nice condition. So I'm going to ask you, what do you think I paid for all 3 sets of Gerber knives in these boxes?
Gerber.
Huh?
Gerber.
Gerber. Yeah, what do you think I paid for all 3? Okay, we've got some pretty good guesses going, and ding, 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 ding. Joel got it right.
$18 $20.42.
Yeah, well, again, if you look up the Gerber knife sets in the walnut box, prices are kind of all over the place, but I've seen some highs for the steak knives in the $150 to $175 US range. So I will be listing those at some point in the next few days, and we'll see how it goes.
And again, the thing is, this was the same people who had that Asian-inspired tray set. And we thought, again, this is really cheap. The funny thing was, the woman actually used to live in Toronto, and she told us that she used to drive across the border to Buffalo because she had a shop at Kensington Market. And she used to drive across the border to Buffalo every weekend for the entire summer and garage sale and come back to stock her shop. Now she lives in upstate New York, so she doesn't do that as much. So it was like, it was just interesting. But again, you would think a lot of times that when you go to a flea market that you may end up finding stuff that is really over expensive. And true, there was stuff. There are a number of people there who have stuff that's just ridiculously priced.
In really poor condition.
Poor condition, antique toy show things. There's people there with what always drives me crazy, like 75 Funko Pops in the little plastic cases in 75 and 80 degree weather. You know it's sweating inside those cases, and they're bringing every time we have air those like comics with the same thing, records with the, and just people saying, "Oh, our records start at $45." It's like, oh, some of those are just ridiculous, but you can find interesting stuff. That's the one thing to find. And again, I'm going to get back to a better image for you guys on my phone now, and this is the better image of what we've got on there. So that's the trays. I think can I make them any bigger? I don't think I can. No, I can't make them bigger than that. So that's the trays that are here. I can do this actually. Then we also got, this is the Shrine trays, this amazing lampshade. Now, we paid up for this lampshade. You can see it's actually really strange because there's actually a top and a bottom to it. And it was a lampshade that we literally looked at. Somebody had retrofitted it. And we looked at it and I said, okay, how much is it? And he said, $25. And I went, okay, would you take 20? He said, no. And Rick and I walked like 10 feet away, 15 feet away, and turned around. I said, I really like that. I don't know what we'd use it for, but you hardly ever find those vintage lamp. And then we go back, I look back and somebody else has got it in their hand. I'm like, damn. And then they put it down. And I said, well, somebody else almost bought it. And then another person picked it up and then put it down. And I walked back over to him. Are you sure you won't sell it? He goes, no, I've just had 2 other people offer me 20. And I said, okay, 25, here you go. And then we walked around the flea market and people were like, ooh, nice lamp.
Yeah, you know that, you know the thing you hate when people are, ooh, I like that. What did you pay? Where did you get it? Where did you get it?
So
this, I haven't had my coffee yet.
Yeah, this is the CYRK lion. And again, this is also going up in our house. The interesting thing about that was, as well, the guy who was selling it literally was like, okay, there was actually on the back of it, it actually had a certificate of authenticity that showed us that it was an original silk screen by CYRK from 1977, and it was bought at this gallery. And we checked it out, and the funny thing was, on eBay right now, those exact things, if you look it up, CYRK, and I'm just trying to do it at the same time as this because it actually was something that is, how did you get over there? No, you're supposed to be over here, and you're supposed to be over here. You're on the wrong. How did you get to that side? How did all of you get to the wrong side of this? There we go. I think that'll be it. Let's see if I got the right thing there. Yes, I do. If you look up CYRK poster, you can see again. I love it when you type something in to eBay and it self-populates. So CYRK poster, and you can actually see 18 results. These are all the different kinds. And why, look, there is the circus poster, but that's not it, because that's only a reprint. We did see it for $100, like there's a couple there, $109. And we did find it before, and now of course I can't find it, but that's actually not the same. It's the same type of poster, but it actually was a little reprint, a 12 by 12. So there's an original Polish poster, 1967, $240 listed for. There is one listed for $200. So again, this is exactly what we got, and the guy charged us. I don't even remember now, Rick. Was it 20 or 25?
I think he did 25. He wanted 60 for it, and you were cheeky and said 25, and he said sure.
It's fun when you find stuff that you just don't, like, oh, I didn't expect to find that. I didn't expect to find that. Other things that we started, then we went, again, we got to garage sales beforehand, and it was really sort of a weird thing. So we got to this one garage sale that I loved, and at this one garage sale, somebody was selling all of this stuff that was like brand new on cards. So this is X-Men Pocket Comics. So this is actually from 1994 by Toy Biz. And they had this and this. And they were selling these for $5. I paid $5 for the two of them. These actually, there's 4 in the set. And I know Adrian's going to say, I want those. But these actually sell anywhere in the neighborhood of, I just went fuzzy. How'd I get fuzzy? Oh, let me go.
Oh, you're really fuzzy.
I know. These sell in the neighborhood of $20 a piece. $28 you can see there. Somebody actually sold one of them for $59. So I don't know exactly why. Somebody sold one for $14, but again,
it was signed in Wolverine
17.
blood.
Huh?
Signed in Wolverine's blood.
Signed in Wolverine's blood for $59. So again, really neat when you can find something like that where you're not paying a lot of money.
And that Adrian doesn't want them.
Huh?
Adrian doesn't want them.
Oh, okay. And when you find other things that are, you don't even know what they are, but you just got to get them. This was at the same garage sale or on the same street. And this was somebody who had these glitter girls. Now, this is a no-name version of a Dawn doll, but the fact that it was still on its card, this was $2. So I'm not going to turn something down when it's $2. They had this, which I have not even been able to look up yet, but this was Arches and then Hamburglar and Birdie. It actually is
something from McDonald's.
Something from McDonald's. It's actually a mobile that has never been built that has Archie has the Hamburglar, Birdie, and Ronald McDonald on it. I haven't looked it up, but it was $2. So I love finding stuff that I don't mind. Even like my Jamiroquai hat was $2. And it's like, I don't mind spending $2 on stuff. That was my name in high school as well.
Honey,
I've never seen that doll before either. In fact, the same day at a different garage sale, I found this, which again was another doll that I'd actually never seen. The Tenko Guardians of Magic. And it kind of looks like a She-Ra doll, Princess Tenko. And like, it was actually made by Mattel of all companies. It's like, so even me, a guy who's been collecting dolls of all kinds for so many years, was still surprised that you can find stuff that's like, what? I've never heard of that before. That's a brand new thing for me. So again, I think this might have cost me $3 or something like that.
Yep.
So it was really, really an interesting sort of mix of things that was out there. I'll throw it to you, Rick. You've got a couple of things to show.
Yeah, just a couple of small things. I really, really like old lady garage sales. The ones that go to great lengths to put a sticker on every single item on the table, in the garage, under the table, stickers everywhere. And they're usually dollar stickers. This is a Lefton wall pocket. And yes, she was $1.
And there's no chips on her.
No chips, no cracks. She is delightful. And look at her little shoes. A whole $1. I could not believe that. I have to actually turn around for a second and show you the other thing. Same street, different seller. This is a queen size quilt. This pattern repeats, I think, 9 times or 12 times. It is stitched throughout. It is handmade.
It's so clean.
It is bright white. It is so clean. And this is the other quilt it was sitting beside. This is a patchwork quilt.
That's a Dresden
stitched
plate
very
pattern
nicely.
quilt.
And both of them were a steal.
Now, I had to get Rick out of the car. Now, this is something we have to make sure you understand. So, when we go, a lot of times, remember I told you about what I hate about garage sales is when the garage sales are like a really long driveways. Well, this was not that long of a driveway, but normally we pull up. Rick is sitting in the car. He keeps the car running so that I sort of jump out, jump back in. If the rule is supposed to be that if I've been out of the car for a minute, he's supposed to join me. He messed that up so many times this past weekend. So this one, I was like, I went up, I saw those. There was something else I actually purchased at that garage sale. And I came back to him and I said, come up and see these quilts. Do you see them? See them? And he's looking, I was like, get out of the car. Like kind of the IKEA, start the car.
Yeah, you're going to crap your pants when you know how much or how little we paid for those.
Well, you can tell them now.
We paid a whole $5 for each of them. So 2 for $10.
It was from somebody who they had taken over their neighbor who had died's house and had to clear it out. And so this was from the neighbor's house.
Mm-hmm.
So
he had no sentimental attachment to any of the
stuff. It was like 1:00 in the afternoon. So he was just like, get these quilts off my driveway kind of thing.
Yep.
So I just happened to look up because I'd never heard the name before. So thank you very much for letting us know who is it that said that?
Tina.
Huh?
Tina at the Lake Exchange.
So the vintage hand quilted feedback Dresden. Again, I've never heard of Dresden. Look at that one.
Ooh.
$295, $50, $130. So if we were asking you guys, and I know some of you don't even know what that necessarily is, but if I'm going to go here and I go up to, not ended recently, but let's just go to highest price first. I don't know if somebody really got that or not. But look at this, 2 for $595. Handmade quilt. Wow. Look at that one, Rick. This was an auction. It had 32 bids on it. And this looks a lot like our quilt.
Ours doesn't have that fancy border.
No?
No.
Okay. But what do you guys think you would do with this? One, let us know. Would you auction this? Or would you have yes, you should have called Maxwell. Was in Buffalo, they don't have Maxwell. Would you auction this? Or would you just try and sell it? And if you did decide to auction it, like Adrian says, auction it starting at $49. If you just decided you wanted to sell it, what do you think you would sell something like that? Tina says, look at the edge of the quilt. A border would demand more than just the half-inch binding.
It's got standard binding, so.
That's not a half an inch, though, is it? Looks a little thicker. So we got start at 150, start at 99. Sherry's start at 250.
No, this binding is very.
Oh, okay.
It's like a
I
half
wish
inch.
I would wash it and put it in your cupboard. You don't need to keep things like that, Diana. You really don't. Now, I'm not one to say like.
Yeah, I'm going to be stuck trying to figure out how to take good pictures of it.
Now, sometimes you find stuff, and this is going to this is actually something that I found at the flea market. I think, or it might have been, no, actually, I think it was at a flea market. And it's funny because a couple of years ago, well, actually a year ago, we were outside at a garage sale, and I bought these two little things, and they were called, and they literally cost me, a quarter each. And let me just see if I can figure out how to see if I'm trying to find a picture of them, because we actually sold them a while ago. So it's a workshop. Let me see if I can find that. Maybe it's maybe it's Mini-Matic. Okay, Mini-Matic. Oh, there it is. So we found this stuff that was called Ideal Mini Mates, and what the Mini Mates were happened to be these a little desk. It was a little tiny workshop desk, and it had little tiny like bandsaw and stuff like that. Well, the next time we actually went to Brimfield, we actually saw somebody with these, and they were in really good shape, but they were asking $75 for each one. Well, I'd never seen them until I bought this one. We actually sold one of the little desks alone that I bought for like a quarter for $30.
We sold both
desks. And so what do we find this time? From the same company. And again, this is always something I love when you find something you've never seen before. This is from Ideal. This is called the Mini-Matic carving set with a base cabinet. Now, this is what I get the biggest kick out of. So this is that. You see, when we were children, no one cared if we burnt our fingertips off or sliced ourselves or anything like that. So the Mini-Matic workshop, it had a little sander that worked. So you could sand your face if you really wanted. Well, this is a Mini-Matic carving set that has an actual carving knife in it. And you actually plug, the battery goes in this, and it plugs into this hole here. So you actually can carve with this. So it's like it shows you how to assemble the carving knife and how to clean the carving. It is a literal miniature. Oh, sorry, I went out of focus again there. I don't know why I was doing that. A literal miniature carving knife. And then we find at the same table a miniature mixer with its little stand. And so back in 1967, they didn't care what you did. So I love these two. They were actually at a flea market on a table for $5 each. Now the cards are really damaged.
Yeah.
But the contents are perfectly mint. So I'm actually not sure what I'm going to do with these at the end of the day.
Well, I did find them two of them listed on eBay. The carving set.
Yeah.
Let me just share my screen. Hold, bear with me, please.
Well, I found one myself, and it's actually, yeah, okay, so there you go. Add that to stream. You can make it bigger?
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can remember how to make things bigger. Okay, there's one that's auctioning for 15.
Yeah, it may not be worth the most, but it's just good if you have a little sister. Lawn darts. Yes, lawn darts were like this too. As Donna said, the toys in the 60s and 70s were brutally unsafe. One of the toys I grew up with was a Thing Maker by Mattel, and you had metal molds, and you poured plastic into goop called plastic goop into the mold, and you put the mold in an oven. The oven was literally a heated metal oven. You dropped the tray. Then you were supposed to pick it out with these little tongs and put it into a plastic tub that you put water in. I did this more than once too. So, I reached in to grab the hot metal tray and burnt the tips of my fingers at least 3 times. Screamed. And my mom was like, why are you doing that? It says, but I wanted to get it out faster. It's just so strange that those things. And lawn darts with points on them, clackers, the balls that were glass that you'd smash up.
For me, it was the wood burning kit.
Oh, wood burning kit. Yep. Oh.
How many times did we touch the ends of the?
Oh yeah, Greg said clackers. Yes, that was like no card. So it's again part of the stuff I like when I find stuff like this. It's okay. I mean, I don't know if we'll necessarily make a lot of money on them. I might pull them out of the card. I might see how we put them together. We might put them in a max sold. We might try them on. Chemistry says we might try them on whatnot. And you never know what we may end up doing with them. But it's just interesting that we find this stuff. And again, it wasn't stuff that cost us tons and tons of money. I mean, this Rick picked up a bag of dollhouse furniture for $1. Well, and then he found another bag of dollhouse furniture for $1. And then I think these were at 2 different sales. Literally that $1.50 and that $1 written by 2 different kinds of people, 2 different pens. And then he goes to another sale and finds this. So 3 different garage sales, vintage dollhouse furniture, a whole tub of it. So $5 for all this dollhouse furniture. And we know that on Max Sold as a platform, the dollhouse furniture that we've seen has gone for really good money. So we have some already, but we picked that up just because for $5 we should be able to hopefully flip that into $50 or so. Sherry had the flower maker kit, yep, and your brother had the Thing Maker, yeah. And the molds are worth money. The molds actually sell, and I actually bought some molds in Brimfield to resell because the molds do sell. You're laughing at the memories. Donna is their fondue set. Needing to put scalding hot water to melt the chocolate. Again, it's not the kind of thing that kids just should be playing with. But yeah, dollhouse furniture can do very well. So
okay, you all know I love weird.
And yeah, you know how Rick loves weird.
You know how I love weird.
That's why he's with me. Yeah, what the heck he picked up here?
This is Billy Can.
He's sitting on a toilet.
He's sitting on a toilet pooping. And this is Billy Can't.
A whole $3.
I think I talked them down to 2. They were like $1 each. So,
but
Billy Can, Billy Can't.
And my question on that is, Ricky, why?
They're going behind you on this.
Going up on his desk beside Choir Boys.
Yeah.
I don't know. At least if I buy a pair of
pooping statue.
If I buy a pair of something, is it at least something I think I can resell? Like this little pair here. There was $1 each. I got them for $1 for the 2. And it's Jack and Sally from Nightmare. They're not older. They're actually from Walgreens. But again, this is something I've actually picked up because I shop now for a lot of different reasons. And I think we were talking about how May might have not been great. And you got to look at other months and see what happens. Well, one of the things that we did was I put it on the craft group this weekend. On Saturday, I thought, you know what? I haven't sent offers out in a while. We have 655 items listed. We haven't been listing a lot either. We've been doing a lot of other stuff and working on whatnot. So we put out offers on about 80 items on Saturday afternoon. And by within 2 hours, we sold over $200 worth of stuff. And by the end of the weekend, we sold 15 items on eBay, all from offers. And then we sold 2 more items that had been around for a while that make me, again, think the algorithm is these people are selling stuff. I'm going to push, like eBay pushes us up. And we sold some stuff that I didn't expect.
That you didn't send offers on.
That I didn't send offers on.
Cool.
And the offers, they were great stuff. And we'll talk about some of them, obviously, when we come back on our show. It was kind
of weird. We had such a busy weekend. We also had a Whatnot show. So we packed up, I think, 12 or 13 packages for Whatnot.
Yeah.
And then we had our 15 or 16 packages for eBay. So we had 2 full mailing bags of packages to drop.
Yeah, almost 30 items all are going out on Monday. 39. Our Sunday show on Whatnot was a Pride show.
39 items.
We actually we were on for a Pride show on Whatnot for an hour and a half. We sold about $175 worth of stuff, which was fun.
And we had some really good donations. We had $187 in donations, didn't we?
No, we had $80.
$87. Sorry, $87.
What ended up happening, we were really happy because what ended up happening is while we were live in our show, we had about 15, 16 people live, pretty constant in our show. And then all of a sudden, during our show, Whatnot, who'd been doing their own LA Pride show, ended their show and raided us. And that's a great thing that happens on Whatnot, where it sent everybody who was in their show over to our show. So from 15 people, we went up to like 90 people in like a second. And we had all these new people who came in. And we had some of those people bought stuff from us that hadn't been even searching for us because they were on another Whatnot show. So
and we learned how to ban somebody from Whatnot.
And we had 3 people banned because they were on the Pride show and decided that's where they wanted to spout their hatred. So it's like, why bother? Like, so Heather said she had a really good weekend. And unfortunately, Diana hasn't sold anything for so long. Greg is stuck on the idea of sending offers on Sunday at noon. Oh, you just want to send them on Sundays? Hey, Don. Post a link to our Facebook group.
Yeah, Sherry's got a Whatnot show on Thursday.
Oh, yes. Post a link of your Whatnot show to the Facebook group for sure. Will faux do. Fofo do. You fofo do that, Sherry.
Is that a kind of dance?
We actually did a show today on Whatnot as well, because we're always talking about that platform. We did a show today, and the show today we did was on purses. And we did a pop-up for purses, and we sold like $50 worth of purses. And we did a pop-up of something else, and we sold like $50 worth of something. And we're going to do a pop-up later on tonight on trucker hats and see if we can sell another $50 worth of something.
See if we can get rid of some of
our trucker hats.
400 that we have.
It's a half an hour show, and if we can get rid of 50 of them, or we can get $50 out of it for a half an hour. So Andrew's saying his store completely died. 1 sale since Thursday and no watchers. Yeah, I know that a couple of people have said that, and we did have some really slow times. So, and that's why we're always saying, make sure you try and look at other things to think about. So we're looking at Etsy. So we're stuff that we tried on eBay, we're adding to our Etsy store now. We are looking at Whatnot as a place to try stuff as well. And here's the interesting thing, just for those of you, Whatnot is actually going to start doing non-live auctions. They're testing it. They just announced this today. They're going to be
a weekly auction.
It's a weekly auction that's going to end on Sunday night that people can bid on over the course of a whole week. So it's going to be so competitive with eBay. And you don't have to be live. You can put an item into an auction. It's just in the testing phases right now, the beta testing. But that to me is another exciting thing. And now here I go about Whatnot again. They just redid everything for their sales for postage. And now, if you use a U.S. post, if you're in the U.S., you use USPS, yay. If you're in Canada and you can use a cross-border shipper, yay. They actually have it so that if you buy up, the buyer pays the shipping, and once they hit £1, they pay $8.35, and they don't pay another cent for shipping up to £5. So they can keep adding to your show. So we've had people who bought dolls from us, and they bought like $9, and every doll was $1.50 extra because that's how it has to be set. And now they're going to pay a flat amount. So really, really happy about that. We're also looking at a thing that we hadn't really looked at too much, but especially from our toy angle, it's a site that has a great deal if you're within Canada, and it's kind of like Poshmark, and it's called Vinted. And I don't know if anybody's really looked at that. I think we might try and do a little video on it for our YouTube channel. But the nice thing about Vinted, if I can find it, of course, I'm trying to. Somehow I rearranged everything from alphabetical order on my phone, and now I don't know where anything is because nothing's in the right order anymore. But with Vinted, they have an agreement with UPS that people only pay $7.95 for shipping across Canada. Across Canada. So let me just go to here just to see if no, that's not it. There we go. Vintage.ca. So I'm just going to put this up here, and I got to sign in if I can. You can sign in with Facebook if you want. And here is where's their thing? So this is Vinted, in case anybody wants to look at it. There it is, Vinted. Men's, women, and kids, but they have toys and games in here. So in the toys section, there's a lot of people who are putting things in the toy section like Monster High dolls and Pokemon and things like that. And with any of them, the great thing about it, again, is if I can find a link to the questions, which of course people have got my first steps are completed in my checklist. It actually is, again, $7 or $8 shipping. So I see a lot of people on a couple of Canadian websites, toy websites, and what they're doing is selling on Vinted because it's so much cheaper than even doing something with Canada Post, and it's tracked, and the buyers are paying. Like the buyers have to pay that. So I do think it's Canada only, Sherry. I don't know if Vinted is actually in the US, but we don't have Mercari up here, and that's one of the challenges that we have to work with. Is you have that as another area where you could look at that we just don't have a chance to look at yet. It's actually headquartered in Lithuania. Yeah, it's just a really interesting thing. So maybe take a look at that as another option.
Sorry, I was rooting around in the back here and making noise, so I muted myself.
Okay. So again, it's look for those kind of things. Try and maybe think about a platform you hadn't thought about before. Again, I'm always talking about Whatnot, but I'm glad Sherry's doing another one on it. But you never know. And then Max Sold is a good platform, but try those different things. And sometimes you'll find something that you go, I bought this to resell, and then you wonder if it's ever going to leave you. This is one I found, and I know I paid a little more than I should have. I got this at a Goodwill, $5.99, but it's Fix It Felix. And the thing is, which is what I love, it's working. So I can actually play Fix It Felix.
I played and I won.
There you actually can see. So you actually get to play it, and it's working. So I bought it because at $5.99, I might not have risked this. It's actually about a $15 to $25 item. So, but again, I love Disney, and this is just something that I'm glad that I have, and it actually looks like interesting to me. Yeah, actually, that's the thing. I don't think there are any fees on Vinted either, which is like, what? So let me try and do a deep dig, and I'll try and post something in Craft and on our YouTube channel for everybody to learn a little bit more about Vinted as an option. Because again, I looked at some stuff that we had, and I thought, you know what? I don't know what to do with this. I'm going to put some purses on there and see if we can sell them, because if somebody can buy something and have it shipped for $7.95 or $8.95 Canadian across Canada, then, and they can bundle and you can send offers out if people like your stuff. Like, that's one of the things I found. I've only put one thing on there so far, so it's really, really a potentially interesting thing to look at. What else did we pick up this weekend? Well, sometimes you pick up something that's a little on the weird side, like Rick did. Well, here's what I picked up. Now, I had to. I don't know why I bought this. I don't honestly know what it's worth. And sometimes that's the challenge when you go to garage sales, is you see something and you can't really look it up on your phone. But I got this at a garage sale, and I couldn't pass this up. This is a carousel wig. Actually, this is an estate sale. Sorry, a carousel wig holder. So for all of my wigs, I don't have any wigs. Okay, no, I do have wigs, but they wouldn't fit in here. But yeah, I just love this. This is like so 1960s. It's so Liza Twiggy. It is so 60s. It's in amazing shape. There's no rips or tears or anything to it. And I honestly don't know why I bought this at I spent $20 on it. Because I'm an idiot? No, because I think it's so cool. It's probably going to go on. I haven't looked this up again. I haven't bothered looking at it. I just love this image. So it's probably going to go up on display in our house for a little while, like a lot of stuff does here. So again, could you resist this? Like, oh my God. Yeah, it is. It's like so prop related and everything. So again, sometimes you buy stuff and you just go, I have to have this. And again, maybe it was looking at stuff going, well, I only paid $20 for this. So since I only paid $20,
now you have a place to put your wigs.
If I only paid $1 for this and $1 for that, then maybe I can pay a little bit more for something else. Do you have something else there, Rick?
I got a couple more things. Again, love my little old lady garage sales. Da, da, da. A very pretty porcelain figurine. She does have, it's a vase, so you can put flowers in behind her and it'll look like she's got flowers in behind her. It is marked. I can't quite read the mark. I'm going to have to look that up later. But for $2, very pretty. One of the other things I can't really resist when I'm out thrifting and shopping are Rooster kitchenware.
The bane of my existence. But
$2 for the Rooster salt and pepper shakers. I also have a canister set that I bought, but it's too fiddly to get it out.
Greg is saying London mod. Yes, 60s. Yep. And Lisa would have bought it. Yay. Hadn't thought it was a Barbie case. And Carl is here.
Oh, hey,
it's
Carl.
Just average cost everything out that you can.
Now, one of the estate sales we're at, we were there in the last 15 minutes before it closed. And we were basically being led through the house by one of the owners of the estate sale company. And she was pointing at things saying, you need that. You need that. I'll give you a good price. Just get it out of here. So we saw these on a shelf in the living room. It's basically sugar, creamer. The sugar bowl has this cute little
apple
handle. A matching teapot. Again with the little apple handle. It's marked McCoy. I haven't done my research yet. There are also a pair of really heavy bowls. They were priced at $75. I think she said, take them. They're $15. Oh, okay.
It was literally 1 minute before she closed.
Well, I think that's one of the sales where if nothing sells, they bring in a dumpster and just throw everything in the dumpster.
It is very possible about that.
So if it is true McCoy, then it's probably going to be worth the $15 we paid. So
seriously, until we show
I'll do some research.
So yeah, and again, it was one of those things that when you're working through something like that, you're at an estate sale as it's leaving. It's like, you know what? I'm going to take a risk on this. Why they priced it at $75, we don't know. But the fact is that we can look at something like that, and we look at that set now as a investment to flip and max sold. Like that's one of the places that'll probably likely end up in our max sold vintage, because we do well with McCoy and pottery and teacups and vintage china and things that Rick doesn't like to ship. We do well with those in our max solds. And sometimes
if I put it in a big square box, I'm okay with it. If I have to Frankenbox, not so much.
Now, sometimes you find something else that I've actually had one of these before, and I bought this at the flea market. Rick did not want me buying this. So we looked at this, I said, oh, look. And Rick went, no. And I said, look,
no.
It's large, I know. This is a Wolverine kids refrigerator and it's part of the whole set. They came out with all of these tin things, this Wolverine. So one, I love the design on it. I love the fact that I've got the original box. I love even more, there's a handle in the back for you to carry it. I love even more that the person who had it said that they would sell it to me. After Rick was taking some stuff back to the car, I went back to the table and said, how much? And she said,
he arrived with the car
said,
with it.
Could you do 20? And she said, sure. So I got this for 20. And the thing I love even more than just that is it is filled with vintage. Look at that inside litho. Look at the tin litho there. That is just an amazing design of the litho. But what's even more fun is it's filled with plastic. I gotta do this thing again. Get it to focus and come back to me. It's filled with the plastic food. It's the hollow kinds of food that you're supposed to get. So it's like waffles. It's filled with pie, little slices of pie. All these basic things, and there's 3 bags of these really light plastic food items that are in here. There's another one up top here, like steaks and breads, and like it's all, this whole thing is filled. Like, look at that. Bread, all of this stuff. And the thing is, these kind of things, especially when they're made out of these light plastic, this is stuff that alone, that is probably a $25 to $30 sale. So I have to do some research on it to find out what belongs in the actual unit itself.
Yeah, and I did find a comp kind of on WorthPoint.
$99. Oh, that's it.
But that's not the exact same you have. You have the original box. You have contents.
Oh, yeah, but that's the actual design, though.
Yeah, I know. That's why I picked it.
Yay! So, again, it's always...
It's empty on the inside, so...
Oh, yeah. No, like, even on the inside, I have the extra little thing in here. It's the little green tray that's got stuff in it. Well, I don't even know if that belongs in it or not, so... But I actually had one of these years and years and years ago on display. It's too big for Barbie, actually. It's kind of meant... I don't know. Actually, I guess it's okay for size for Barbie. It's just a really neat thing to buy. So I had to pick something like that up. And sometimes, again, when you're out there this summer and you're on your road trips or you're at garage sales or you're at flea markets or you're at estate sales, take that little extra risk, especially if it's something that gives you joy. If it sparks joy. You get that joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Where? Out of my wallet. Takes the money, 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 money out of my wallet. And then we bring it home. So, yes, Rick does sometimes like to say no just because he likes to say no. So, but again, we found fun stuff. We got other things that are in here. I bought what Rick is now calling, because I'm watching this a lot now, my spirit animal, which is from Bob's Burgers. This thing. So this is my spirit animal. So we got that, and that's actually probably not going anywhere. This was from an AmVets for $3, but it's actually very clean. Doesn't smell or anything along those lines. I was at this one place that actually had all of these trolls, and I asked them how much the trolls were, and they said, oh, and this was at a flea market, and they said $3 for the little ones, $5 for the big ones. So I put these all together. I said, how about 15 for all of them? And they said, sure. And the thing that I liked about it was a couple of them were, if you are looking at ever trying to sell troll dolls, Dam is the older trolls. Russ are newer trolls. So you can see on their feet, this is actually Dam, 1980, made in Denmark. Dam has made toys for a lot longer than that. They also have sort of bigger glassine type large eyes. So this guy's a little, his pants have faded a lot, but same thing. He's Dam marked on the bottom of him. And then we also got another little one. And I sold one of these trolls in our Pride show actually for $10. So this little fisherman guy who has metal fish, which I thought was really interesting. And then this little guy, a Christmas troll. If you find Christmas trolls, here's my big sort of helpful tip for the day, since you stuck with me all this time. If you can find Christmas trolls, these guys, I sold this for $45 last year. So any trolls that are Christmas or Halloween related, pick them up. Pick them up if they're $3, pick them up if they're $5, because these kind of little guys can go for good money. So they go better, closer to Christmas and close to Halloween. But we've actually sold a number of Christmas and Halloween type trolls like witches, ghosts, Santa, Mrs. Claus, reindeer, Christmas tree.
And just so you're aware, there are also other types of animal figures made by Dam Trolls that you really want to be on the lookout for. This elephant troll.
Oh yeah.
$1,600, $1584.99. This horse troll, $1525. So be on the lookout for those types of characters as trolls. I think
any kind of animal troll is going to be like, we've sold an elephant troll for $150. We sold a hippo troll, I think, for $250 at one point. So like these are like, I can't believe how much. So 9-inch, well, ours were not 9-inch, ours were little 2 or 3-inch ones. So yes, we are out, and yes, that's how much some of these little trolls go. And if you look there, just right down at the bottom, Rick, in Worth Point, there are 55,000 trolls that have sold.
Yeah, and I'm sorting from highest value to lowest.
Yeah. But anyway. 55,000 trolls. So people like trolls. Not the internet trolls. We don't like any of those internet trolls, but we like the other kind of trolls. So again, if you see Russ, it's newer. Usually has a sticker on the bottom of it. Dam is older. So when you see that and you see a troll and you pick it up, I just want you to go, damn, and buy it. But there's the Russ sticker, just in case you know. Like again, so we probably will get more for this Russ guy than we will get for either of these Dam trolls. But it's just, again, it's an interesting thing to see. So I'm going to end off with one of these things that I thought, well, first of all, again, thanks everybody for popping in to see us. Don't forget that we are in less than 2 weeks. We are doing our dealing and dolls. This is for only members of the Kennel Club. So you need to be a member of the Kennel Club. It will be a Sunday night show. The only people who will be able to see it will be people who are already members in here. So if you want to join, it's $2.99 a month. And hopefully we give you an idea on things that, hey, this is something. And thank you, Sandra. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. That would be wonderful. And Linda, thanks for mentioning. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. And visit us on Whatnot if you want. But yeah, the dealing in dolls, we're working on that right now. And then to end the show, we thought we had to find one thing. And this is something that, again, I found. And you can't pass these. I mean, you can pass these up. But again, you can't pass these up. When you see a little back scratcher, you always need a little, that little extra back scratcher. But what you never knew, and I never knew we needed before, was a bare ass scratcher. Because that's what this is. It's a bare ass scratcher. Here we go. There. And this was, I think, 50 cents somewhere.
That was the same place as the quilts.
Oh, it was. So we
You
got
were
the quilt
joking
and
with the
bear-
guy that the woman needed a bare ass
Oh,
scratcher.
Susan. Sorry, Susan.
And she lived alone.
I was confusing you with Linda Lighthouse. Sorry. So yes. So a bare ass scratcher was something that we thought we'd end our show with. Because we've got an hour and a half
I might
now.
actually need to use that because you're not always around to scratch my back.
I'm not always around to scratch your back, but I will be around to scratch your eyes if you are terrible in the show we've got later on tonight. So again, we're on Whatnot later on tonight. Just pop onto Whatnot and you can see us there. We're doing a show even just to watch it and see what it's like. It doesn't matter if you're from Canada. You can sign on there. If you want to sign on, you can use our little link on there. We have shows, as I said, coming up over the next little while. Sometimes Whatnot has little glitches to it, like it had one today where our 4 o'clock show did not happen. So if you do want to join us there, this is the link to just come and see us if you want to use us as an invite to go on there. And this is the shows that we've got planned right now. We have our pop-up show right now, our trucker show. We've got that 70s show coming up on Monday, so 70s and 80s toys. And then we've got a tattoo art, and then we got our Monster High show. And we're probably going to do more shows than this, but this is just what we like end up popping in there. And again, we did a couple today. Like this, we'll be doing 2 today. So if you can sell $100, if you haven't had a sale, and you might be able to have $100 sale by popping onto Whatnot and trying it
for half an hour or so.
For half an hour, try it. I mean, Sherry tried it. First show, she only sold 3 things, but she's having another one, and then she'll have another one, and then you start building a following. You start putting on pictures of what you got, and then you can try and do stuff. Our first show was literally a pop-up, and at one point we had 25 people in the show. So you might not necessarily auction a lot of stuff. Like if there's nobody there to auction it, but if you're selling it at a price point you want, then you're happy. We sold a purse for 20, a purse for 10, a purse for 5. So we were really happy in selling the stuff that we did sell, and the people who got it are happy. And some of the people who bought from us today were people who don't normally buy from us purses because we never sell them. So keep an eye out for other opportunities. I will build a Vinted little talk about that in the upcoming days. Yeah, Heather popped into our pop-up. Thanks, Sandra. Her second show was much, much better. Yeah. Tonight's show at 10 o'clock, 7 o'clock Eastern, where you are, Julie, is baseball and trucker hats, $3 and $5 starts. Why? Because we got a garage sale coming up, and I'm going to put them at $2 or $1 in the garage sale. So why not try a half an hour and just put them on my head and go, anybody want this for $3? Anybody want this for $3? So that's what we're going to try. And yeah, they're non-live auctions. Once we hear more about that, again, that and their new shipping, game changers, real game changers there. So keep your eyes open for that. So thank you so much for joining us here at Two Dogs Digs. We're actually going on another road trip. On Friday and Saturday again. Why? Because one place we go to, Grand Island, New York, it's their island-wide garage sale where they have over 150 houses participating. So we'll be doing another garage sale road trip show probably coming up in a little while. Our garage sale, we're not sure. It was supposed to be in 2 weeks, but I think it will now be in 4. We'll make sure we tell you.
We're still sorting through boxes and figuring out how much.
No, we can't come to San Diego because it's too much to ship stuff back. So thanks again for joining us here on our road trip show. We hope you had a little bit of fun with us. We hope you learned a couple of things. We hope you might join us in the Kennel Club if you haven't joined us there. And remember that coming up is our Dealing in Dolls. Woof. I'm Bad Dog.
I'm Good Dog.
We're out of here. Happy night.